I've turned to the dark side.
Illustrations by me.
So after watching all of these videos of these people with these tiny palettes, I've decided to give it a try. I told you about this in another video. Maybe the last video. It could be the last. I have no idea. I don't know when this one's going up. So I picked up this little tin. This was given to me, actually. There were happy little tree mints inside of it. And there's a little bit of sentimental value. We've discussed that before. So I'm going to figure out exactly what I want to put in this little tin. I'll take some time. I'll figure out the colors I want. I can fit 12 in here. That's not a bad thing. 12 full pans. Not those little tiny dots. I don't understand that. I see people with these little... You ever see those new wooden palettes? That doesn't even make sense to me. Just bear with me here for a second. It's wood, right? So you're going to get the wood wet constantly. And it could be sealed or whatever. But it's constantly... You're going to get it wet constantly. And it's not going to... Nothing's going to happen. It's not going to fall apart on you. The inside, and you're not going to get a little bit of wood in your paint. I don't know. It doesn't matter. The point is, I'm going to use a metal tin, and I'm probably going to, at some point, they have a spray. They have this spray that you put on, like, refrigerators, and it's like an appliance spray. And then they have another one that's like a porcelain spray that you put on, like, your sinks and things, like your bathroom sink or your tub, is whatever it is. And they've got these paints. I'm probably going to put that in here for a little mixing area. That way I can do that, because I don't want to mix on the metal. You can't even see the colors anyway. And I won't have room. If I put the 12 in here, then there's 5 on top and 7 on the bottom. And so I won't have room. But I just don't want it to get nasty. I don't want it to get rusty and disgusting. I'm going to do that. Maybe I scuff it up and I put some gesso on it. Who knows? And then I'm going to take this palette, after I swatch it out for you and show you the colors I'm putting in. I'm going to try it. This tiny little book, it's about the size of the palette. Look, I can, hold on, let me show you. I can hold this with one hand. I can dip in here and paint here on one hand. I don't understand why anyone would ever want to do that, but that's what you want to do. People, they're just all about I like to, when I'm online at the supermarket, I just take out my sketchbook, my mini sketchbook, and my mini palette, and I just paint while I'm online. Do you really do that? Is that what you're doing online at, like, the A&P or the whatever place you shop? I don't even know what they are anymore. The Trader Joe's, or is that a thing? Is it Joe's? I don't even know. It doesn't matter. Wherever you shop for your groceries or you go to the post office, you're just like, oh, I should paint right now. There's a bunch of people around. Everybody's in a bad mood, but I'm going to paint right now. Just here. I don't think anybody does that, but that's what they pretend they do when they pull out these tiny little things. It drives me nuts. So I'm going to try to do this. I don't know if I can, really. I don't know if I'm not sure if I can go this small with a painting, because this is not watercolor paper. This is just, I think it's just regular, like, let me see. It's just regular acid-free 74-pound paper. So I don't know how it's going to hold up. I've never put paint in here before. I don't know what's going to happen. It may just destroy the paper completely. I can't really do it, but even still, I'm not going to put multiple layers down. I'm just going to, even if I just do a swipe just to get some color, and then I can put some ink in or whatever, I'm going to try it. I'll give it a shot, but I don't know if I can go that small. I may switch. I may do something in here. If it doesn't work out, I will show you that it doesn't work out, but I may not complete it. And I'll go to something like this. Now, I do have I think it's a 3x5. I have a 3x5 Stillman and Byrne gray book. This is a 4x4, I think it is, or 4.5 by 4.5. Is that what this is? What the heck? It's in... I don't know the metric system. I'm in the U.S. I'm a moron with the metric system. Let's see what we can do here. Okay, so it says it's 5.5. I want to see if that's true. Let's see if this paper is really 5.5. Where's the ruler? Here it is. It's 5.5 inch paper. So it's 5.5 by 5.5. So when that means when I open it up and I do a double spread like that, it's going to be 11 by 5.5. You thought I was going to say 10, didn't you? But I didn't. I knew it was 11. So it's going to be 11 by 5.5, which is it's like a landscape, like a panorama landscape, which is wonderful. And I like these books, and I like to go across the gutter and do the whole thing. You have things like, let's see if you can see that. You see those signatures? It's really just smooth paper right across there. So unless you cut it on unless you cut it, unless you're painting on one of these pages, you see where that's where the signature started or ended, and it goes underneath. Unless you're doing something like that, you can actually get it very smooth right across the gutter. No, I'm not in that spot. I'm not going to have it very smooth. That's okay. The next page would have been. Don't worry about it. I'm still going to use it anyway. But I like using this book. I like going across the gutter and doing that panorama. And this is small. It folds up into the 5.5 by 5.5. You look at it with the palette. That's still a very small setup right there. There's nothing wrong with that. So this may be as small as I can go for me. I like to put the detail in and stuff. I don't know how it's going to work out in this thing. It's difficult. That color pencil piece. Do you remember that color pencil piece I showed you? That was one of the first things that I didn't hear. Here it is. So you see that right there. That took a very long time because I'm trying to sit there and blend colors and get that little... It was a little obnoxious to even try something like that. But I'm going to paint with it. I'll see what happens. And then you tell me. What I want to know from you, do you go this ridiculous when you go to paint? I know some of you have those palettes. You've told me. You have those tiny little palettes. Some of them are like a business card holder. So it's like this size... but it's only the thickness of like this, just the top here. It's the whole thing, so you'd have to open that up. It's half the thickness. You're using like makeup tins, and sometimes you get those little tiny dot things. You just putting a dot in. Every time you do a painting, you have to go back and refill your palette. You can't just sit there and say, oh no, this palette has plenty of paint in it, because it doesn't. But it's a small set. I agree. It's a tiny little set just like this. I just don't think I can handle it. But tell me what you do. I want to know. I think this is going to be the smallest I can do right here. I think so. But I'm going to try it anyway. Let's see what I do. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so I wanted this palette to be its own thing. And even though this is not the order that I'm going to swatch these out in, this is how I'm going to read it to you from the top left to the bottom right, just so you know what the colors are. I have a transparent pyrrole orange, that's Daniel Smith. Then the next one to the right of that is the Perylene Crimson, that's a core. Then go down to the second row and you have the Daryl-eyed Yellow, that's a core. You know what that word is, that's how you say that. Then the next one to the right of that is the Cadmium Red Deep, and that one is a core as well. Then I have the Perylene Violet over in that top right corner from Daniel Smith. Then you go down to that third row and you have a chromium, no, it's a blue chromium. That's the Daniel Smith. That's the cerulean blue chromium. That's the Daniel Smith there. Then you have the Mayan Blue Genuine from Daniel Smith. I love that color. I love all these colors. The next one over to that is the Perylene Green from Daniel Smith. Then I have the Quinacridone Gold from Daniel Smith. Then on the bottom left I have the Benzie Burnt Orange from Core. Then I have next to that is the Burnt Umber from Core. And over in the bottom right is the Payne's Blue Gray from Daniel Smith. Now I've used these colors quite a bit on other things. You've seen them in other palettes, but I have not put them together in this order in any palette. So I decided that's what I'm going to do here. So I enjoy these colors. I think that I can really, I can do something with these. These are nice and muted tones. They're earthy. They're fall colors. They're warm and cool. I will get along very well with this. And all of a sudden, I don't know what it is. All of a sudden, I have moved my palette a little bit into the warmer territory. If you see, I have a lot of reds and oranges, and browns. I think I don't know what that is all of a sudden, but that's happened to me. So I'm going with it. I'm just going to see what I can do with it and see how it works. All right, let's get into the painting now. Okay, now I will say this paper shocked me. I had no idea that it was going to hold up this good to water. It does not say anything about mixed media paper or anything like that. And it held up just fine. And I'm looking back at it saying, yeah, it's pretty good. It actually, you can paint inside this book. I had no idea. And I've heard good things about the travelogues. This is the Pentalic travelogue. But it's the sketch version of it. And you can see some of the colors dull a little bit, but not bad. I've had better results on this than I've had on the Canson Montville watercolor paper, which I can't stand. We'll get into that in another video. But I'm just saying that they worked out very well with this paper. The thing is, the size was a little strange. I could do it, but it was very obnoxious and annoying. I couldn't get the details in there that I wanted to do, so I went to the bigger page anyway. And I really liked that painting. That was a good one. I enjoyed that one a lot. I could have gone, I didn't even go across both pages or anything like that, because I'm looking at it saying, yeah, I can do something here, but I don't know exactly what I want to do. So that first one, I saw something instantly, and I said, I'm not going any further. That's a face. That's all I'm going to do with it, and that's what I did with it. So that's where it ended up for me. The second one was just a bad choice. I tried to do, one of those rough ink brush techniques that I do. And the reason that doesn't work, obviously, is because it's very flat, smooth paper. You can't get the rough bristles on there. So it didn't work out exactly the way that I had planned. But I just did a little one, and it was fine if I was just doing a little sketch or doing a little thumbnail sketch or something. And that's what this book is really for me. It's a thumbnail book. You do these little tiny things on the little sheets, and you get the thumbnail down, and you can take it to the bigger piece. Even though the bigger piece was not very much bigger, but it's okay. And I didn't take either one of these to that bigger piece, so that I'm just contradicting myself. Don't listen to me. I do that a lot. And it should be like my little catchphrase. That's what I do. I contradict myself. Speaking of catchphrases, okay, side rant. The most overrated and overused catchphrase of the last decade is AI. Listen, I've ranted about this before, but here's what is actually going on here. People want their content on YouTube or Instagram or wherever they post. They want it to be clicked on, so they use tools where they can see, oh, what's the most popular term on the internet? Oh, AI. And so, but AI at one point was the most searched terms list. Now that's search terms. So they say, oh yeah, let's do this. These lists are different. The most popular is the term included in most articles or videos or pictures. So that's different than the most searched term. Now the most searched is dictated by how many people search for the term in search engines. So being that it used to be one of the most popular searches, people would include it in all their titles. And it didn't matter if it was an article or a blog or a video or a TikTok or a double side rant. A TikTok is not a video. A TikTok is a mind-numbing agent. It's a drug that causes your brain harm. It's like listening to this show. You're going to do damage to yourself. But anyway, it could also be included in a title, even for like a photo, or especially for software. Software companies always say, oh, this is AI. It used to be called smart. So they used to say, oh, you have a smart program or a smart device or a smartphone. No, they mark my words. Soon your phones are going to be called AI phones. Just mark my words on that. That's the phrase everybody's using now. Anyway, people used it in content so often that it became one of the most popular terms in the world, which means that people use it more. It's a self-sustaining kind of circular thing that keeps happening. More people use it because it's the most popular term, but it's the most popular term because more people use it. So it just keeps going around and around. We're not getting rid of this one for a while. What a bunch of jack donkeys. I'm so sick of it. I'm telling you, I'm talking about it now. I'm adding to the problem. I am an enabler right now. I enable morons to keep annoying me on the internet. That's how this works. We got to move on from this topic. Okay, so like I said, while I enjoyed this, using this little thing here, which is not really enjoyable because of the frustrations of not being able to get the small, you know, you almost have to use like the .005 liner to get some real detail in there, but that thing is so tiny, and I always end up bending it because it's so delicate. It doesn't matter what brand I use, I end up bending it a little bit. It doesn't bend so bad on some of the other ones like Copic or something, but if you use like a Pigma Micron, that thing will just snap right off. It bends into it. It's a bracket now. Now it's a broad tip because it's bent all the way on its side. But it's fine. Everybody likes. I don't even know if I could hold this and do this seriously. How can you be serious holding something this small while you're in the middle of a post office? Who would do something like that? Do you go shopping? You go like to the grocery store, and you know when you're rolling the cart, you just lean it on the top of the cart and you're just painting while you're going around the store. Why do people need such tiny things? I don't understand. It's like everybody's an extremist, and they have to go the smallest possible, most minimalistic, most this, most that. Just get something that's comfortable to use and use that. But this is the lightest setup you can ever have. Who cares? Are you that weak? You need to lift this book right here, this little palette, this little thing. That's all you can hold in your hands. What you need to do is get down to the gym. That's what you need to do. I know you curl more ice cream to your mouth on the spoon than you use to hold this thing. Don't tell me that's not true. If you can do that, you can do better than this. But some people like it, and I am not one to impose my rules on you. You want to use it, you enjoy it, you think it's cute or funny or whatever you think, then that's your monkey circus in your brain. That's not mine. I don't have to do that. But you do it, that's fine. It's fine if that's what you want to do. If you want to show me the tiny paintings and the things, I would love to see them. I want to see people's tiny paintings and see what you do with this. This is nothing like what I do normally. So this other 5.5, that one, I can do that, especially across both pages. That's comfortable for me. That's something I can do. I was always yelled at. Everybody always told me, you should go bigger. You should go, 9x12 is too small. You should go bigger. I remember I was using the 9x12 pads, and I had artists telling me, that's as big as you go. What you need to do is go to like the 20x10s and the 32x48s and all these other things. That's how you really learn how to paint. You paint the big stuff. And listen, everybody always tries to impose their rules on everybody else. That's not what I want to do. If you want to do this, you do this. And that's fine with me. But don't expect me to have to do this. I still don't understand it. I can't comprehend it. But even the bigger stuff, I don't do big stuff. The biggest thing I did was it was small, like a wedding announcement thing, and it was on a big board thing, and that was too much for me. I didn't enjoy that at all. I like to go smaller, so usually 9x12, that's it. That's my biggest piece that I do. I like the 8x10s. I like the 6x9s. I like the 6x10s. I like weird shapes, and I like squares, but I don't like to do the really small or the really big. That's 9x12 is big enough for me. Now tell me what do you like to do? This is a part of your show too. You tell me, what do you like to work on? You like to work on these tiny little things or the giant things? Are you an extremist on both ends? And yes, I know before I said extremist and minimalist in the same sentence. That's exactly what it is. When someone is going as small as they possibly can, they are an extremist minimalist. That's what they are. It's just how that is. They are going to the extreme with the tiny, but them trying to do it as small as they can with as little as possible. So it's the same thing. I know it's a paradox. Some people are strange. I get it. Don't worry about that. Strange people are allowed here too. Strange people. As a matter of fact, if you're not, you usually complain. Let's go into that while we're going on here. So let me just explain something here. I think I've got this somewhere. Hold on. I clipped a little thing here. Let me see. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to start a Hater of the Month club. I think that's what I want to do. A Hater of the Month. This person is the Hater of the Month. I'm not going to tell you who they are, but they said it was the palette video. They were going on about the palette video, and they said, I came to this video because it said it was about palettes. What the F is this nonsense? They cursing at me. They have no idea. So I laughed at them and I said, I see you're a big fan. Welcome to this channel of nonsense. And they said, not a fan at all. I told YouTube not to recommend you anymore. And I said, okay, that's what you're supposed to do when you find a channel you don't like. I hope that it works for you. I hope that you find another channel somewhere else that you like. But you're supposed to tell YouTube, hey, I don't like this channel, and then they don't recommend it to you anymore. And the system is working, is what I'm saying. Everything is fine. If you tell them, they won't recommend me anymore. And then I did get another person who is not a hater at all. They were just saying that I wasted my time talking about other people's stuff. There was another comment I talked about a while ago of a hater thing, whatever. And I was wasting time. I wasted like 10 minutes of my video talking about this person. Listen, everybody deserves attention. Even the people that don't appreciate what I'm doing. Those people deserve attention too. It's not just me. It's not just you. It's those people deserve it. So if they bring something to my attention and they say I absolutely hate you, I at least have to conversate with them. I have no problem doing, and I have no problem. This whole show is about me talking to you and sharing with you my journey, and we're all going along together with it. If I'm not transparent enough to talk to you about this, I don't understand how a channel, and I know channels that do this very well. They're excellent at it, but I don't understand how they can just say, oh, we're going to do a painting technique today, and they talk for a half hour about that painting technique. I ran out of stuff to say about what the stuff I was putting on the page like 10 minutes ago. I have no idea what else to say about that. I'm not sitting there, we can, okay, I put this stroke down over here in a little whip type fashion, and now we're going to put another little stroke over here in another whip type fashion. That would bore the living crap out of myself just saying it into the microphone. I'd have to beat myself up while I was doing it because I couldn't handle that. So instead, I bring you entertainment. I talk about other stuff. I do other things. I mention the thing I'm doing, but then I have other things I'd like to share with you. So I share those things. And if you don't like that, this is not the channel for you. I get it. You don't have to like it. Nobody has to like anything. You got to do your own thing. So you go find those those people are good at what they're doing. They can share a technique for a half hour and talk about it. And they're good. I'm not saying that that's boring. They're good at it. But I am not good at it. I have to go on to different things and share other stuff with you. Otherwise, I bore myself. So I don't have enough stuff to say about that line that I just put on the page. It's a line. I don't even know what I'm doing half the time. I just put the color down, and then I say, oh, that looks interesting. Maybe I should put another color over here and do something like, and then I just keep going with it until I'm done. I don't know what it's going to be. Sometimes I know the composition, but I don't know what it is. I don't know what I'm doing. And then I go in with the ink, and maybe I can put a little detail over here. That looks interesting. Let me develop that a little bit. And then I do that. And then sometimes I come up with nothing at the end, and sometimes I come up with something I love. But that's how I work. So I can't talk about it because I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just working here and doing this, and it's easier for me to let my mind go and do whatever it wants. And then I see something that looks interesting, and then I do something. But I can't talk about that forever. That would be boring. Well, that was a bit of a side rant, but I wanted to just name that, hey, look, this is why I talk about things, because I want to share everything I can with you about the channel, what we're doing here. If someone's complaining to me, that's okay. I can talk about it. If that ruins the video for you, you got to go somewhere else. You got to go to a different channel where someone doesn't ramble like I do and doesn't let their mind wander and take off on the backside of something. I don't know. I go wherever my mind takes me, and that's what I talk about at the time. So that's me. And the people that love this channel, they love that about the channel. They love that I do that. So, and you tell me all the time, I love to hear you ramble. That's wonderful. Some people don't even want, then that's the other thing. When I started this channel, one of the things that I was saying is some people watch this. I wanted to make something where some people can watch this channel. They can mute me if they don't like it. If they just get inspiration from what I'm doing, mute me. Put on some music and just watch what I'm doing. But if you do like what I'm saying, you don't even have to watch the video. You know how many people don't even watch this video? They just play it in the background while they're doing their own painting. They're just listening to me ramble. That's all they're doing. Then they do that. And then some people do both. Some people watch what I'm doing and listen to me ramble, and those people are very special to me. If you can listen to me and watch what I'm doing and not get lost out there somewhere in the wilderness, you're a special kind of person. Just like these people popping up on the screen right here. They are very special people, and they like the things that they hear on this channel. Even if I'm just talking about absolutely nothing, they like that too. So thumb up the video if you are going to go super small, and then tell me about how you do it and why it's interesting to you. And why is this fun for you? I would love to hear that. I'd love to see some of your tiny art that you do. If you do tiny stuff, you show me that thing. I want to see what you're doing there. Maybe I spark something for me and I can do it too. I don't know. We'll see. All right. If you would like to join our community, go to illustrationsbypete.com. You can come in, you can put your own artwork on the site and promote it. You can find some inspiration in the free reference photos. You can just use them however you want in your artwork. You do not need to credit me. Or you can come into the forums and talk to some people and maybe give some advice and maybe find a little bit of information that helps you. So come check us out. All right, that's about it for me. I'm going to go. I'll see you in the next one.